And so I didn't want to be a no more. I said, man, I don't want to be. The phrase had came out when I was at the end of my. It was, he for everybody. And I was like, I clutched my pearls. I said, not me. I'm not for everybody. I said, I got to change. I got to switch the game because they say I'm for everybody. Oh, man, I ain't out here like that. Now, am I y'all now? You feel me?
Having this, first of all, behavior is not identity. So my behavior does not define who I am. And most of that type of behavior comes from trauma, pain, hurt, something that happens. No woman, I mean, they can come in and let me know if I'm wrong, but I don't think no woman wakes up and says, I think I want to be a today, or I think I want to be promiscuous, or no, something happened to allow that. And a lot of times what happened is either the woman gets stuck there, she repeats this behavior and it becomes a lifestyle, or she evolves from that behavior and becomes a different person.
We're touching a subject that people whisper about but rarely really talk about out loud. Once promiscuous, always promiscuous? Now, let me be plain. We do not believe a person is doomed forever. But we do believe that a past can leave consequences. And if you ever wondered whether you're wrong for caring about someone's history, this episode's for you. Straight to it. Jen, if a woman has a promiscuous past, does a man have the right to treat that as a warning label? Or is that simply insecurity dressed up as standards?
I don't think it's insecurity dressed up as standards, but I do think he has a right to know, but a real man would get to know the person. Like, my past shouldn't define me. I think if a man is using the past of what they heard, they're trying to control, they're trying to manipulate, they're not trying to get to know who you are, because you are a new person. I mean, you could be, but on the flip side, a person could not be a new person or nor wanting to change. So he has the right to be able to dissect and see what it is that he wants, but he just definitely should get a woman a chance. Definitely get to know her and what her mind is now.
Okay, all right. So, and that was a great answer, but we're going to get into that a little bit more in just a minute. So when a guy says once promiscuous, always promiscuous, are they saying that they're afraid of cheating risk, comparison, trust, reputation, fatherhood, or embarrassment? Or could he be actually right?
I definitely think he's not right. Once promiscuous, that's not always the case. Most women, from what I have seen, from what I know, they're not just having this. First of all, behavior is not identity. So my behavior does not define who I am. And most of that type of behavior comes from trauma, pain, hurt, something that happens. No woman, I mean, they can come in and let me know if I'm wrong, but I don't think no woman wakes up and says, I think I want to be a today, or I think I want to be promiscuous, or no, something happened to allow that. And a lot of times what happened is either the woman gets stuck there, she repeats this behavior and it becomes a lifestyle, or she evolves from that behavior and becomes a different person. But it's up to the man to choose if he want to give her a chance to see who she's becoming, who she is, not defined by her past.
Now, you ended your soliloquy with the word past. And so are you talking about a past behavior doesn't define who you are? Because behavior actually does define identity. You know what I'm saying? But are you saying past behavior? Because if we're talking about your behavior from 12 years ago, some guy started talking to a chick and then his mans and them tell him, she was she was promiscuous, blah, 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 blah. And then you see what I'm saying?
I think behavior is not identity. I think what that person has done does not say who they are. You do?
I think what a person does definitely says who they are.
I said done. Done is
so
past tense.
The past, so you got to clarify, because I don't know who we could be talking to. So you're saying past behaviors wouldn't dictate
who they
your
are
current
today.
identity.
Right. If you have bad behavior in the past, right? That's just standard. If you have a bad behavior and you choose to start having good behavior, that bad behavior does not define who you are now if you operate in good behavior.
I agree with that. Yeah. I agree with that. I just thought you were saying that behavior, period, doesn't determine identity. And I would have to, so we had to clean that up. And thank you so much for cleaning that up for us. Okay. I think we're able to move on from that one right there. Now, you talked about behavior and identity. Now, what is the difference between a person and their patterns? Like, I heard that she was promiscuous, and her patterns is
promiscuous behavior.
Yeah.
She talking to multiple men. She has no self-respect. She lacks discipline in certain areas. Yeah, then you should definitely take precaution. You should definitely protect yourself. You should definitely move accordingly, because most men that see that, they're going to treat you the way that you treat yourself. So if you're wanting to, and it's so sad, because you see in today's modern time, women are so loose for, a certain term. They're very loose in their actions and their dressing, the way they dress, everything. They're very loose women out here. And I don't know, because some of them could be the lack of guidance. Some of it could be, like I said, trauma or hurt, but some can just don't know. And so if you're wanting better, and I'm saying this because there may be some women that want to do better, and you don't want the man to treat you this way, then you got to treat yourself more kindly. You got to know your own worth. You got to know your behavior don't define who you are. So whatever past mistakes that you made, you got to forgive yourself and move forward and heal and know that you can be a new or a different person.
Now, those are some great solutions, and we're going to get to those in here in just a little bit. You're trying to end the pod early. You're good. So a woman paying for her past. Now, let's not go straight to the woman. Let's go to a completely different scenario. A weird parallel. Okay. Ex-convict, felon. No matter what his crime was, when he gets out and he tries to get the premier job in the city, he's going to get an email back that says that they have better qualified candidates, right? And he understands that he doesn't qualify for the top of the top job in the city, right? But he might qualify for the chicken house or something of that nature, right? So a woman with a past, she could still feel like and apply for the job and or the position of wife to the top of the top guy. She could still apply for that. Does her past have consequences? Is she limited from some of her past? Not saying that she's not a hoe no more. Okay, but does her past disqualify her from the top of the top? I'm not talking about the 1%ers, because there's scenarios, but I'm talking about the 90 percentile. So what do you got?
I think. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I'm going to speak on it two different. So yes, I do think a woman can have a thorn in her side. I definitely think that her past or her past behaviors can disqualify her, just like a felon, from certain positions. It is what it is.
It is.
I mean, if your behavior never displayed motherhood, you may be disqualified to be a mother to a child. You know what I'm saying? If you never gave motherhood to your own birth children. I'm just saying it could disqualify you. I definitely think it can. But on a flip side, and I have to go there, where 2 Corinthians say, I am a new creature. You know what I'm saying? So on the flip side, yes, you can be whatever your mind allow you to be because Christ said you can. You are new in Him. If you in Christ and you are past things that past the old things have passed away. You know what I'm saying? So you can be new in whatever your mind allow you to be. You would attract that, and somebody can come and see the beauty in you, to see the qualification, and they would never put you in a position to where you would be somewhere where you wouldn't be able to be qualified. Those doors are just open because you would be qualified. But that's only, to me, in my opinion, that's only through Christ. So if you're looking at a natural, certain things is going to disqualify you. I'm sorry, it is what it is. Yes, you can change your behavior. You can have a renewing of the mind. You can change the person you are. But at the end of the day, certain things, because we're human, we're flesh. So certain environments or certain things may trigger you, or whatever the case may be, to activate that thorn in the side. I say it like that.
So, and that was good. But I also think that in the natural world and or the spiritual world, you can't, all things can be made new, but you can't get rid of those two baby daddies from your past or your whoring days. And so that would probably still disqualify a person. I'm sorry, I'm just saying. I'm wrong. Okay, so that would probably disqualify a person from this type of guy, male, who might be a single, childless, and looking to not be a step crash dummy. Shout out to Anthony Daniels. And might just want to build his own family. You see what I'm saying? And so I do think there's certain positions that woman would maybe be disqualified for in the natural and or the spiritual. But all things are possible with God. I'm not denying that.
I disagree. I think in the spiritual, you are a new creature in Christ. Old things are passed away. And so that man that comes who thought he might have wanted a woman with no children because he had no children, I'm going to deal with it, can open up a door because it could be something in you because you're new now. You're not the same person that had the two baby daddies. You're not the same person who, you know what I'm saying, with the kids. So something about you can open the door. I disagree. I just think God would allow, because what's for you is for you. So with Christ, I think it's possible. In the natural world, no, I don't. I think, you disqualified yourself. I think the corporate guy who don't got no children, you might have attracted him, but he might not want 2 kids because he ain't got no kids. That might, but with God, I definitely think in the spiritual world, if you with God and Christ, because Christ, you are a new creature in Him, according to 2 Corinthians 5:17. You can attract that dude because God don't go on what looks logical and reasonable with men. He, that man might don't know why he drawn to you. He know he didn't want 2 kids, but now he playing what you say, crash dummy, daddy, step daddy or something, whatever.
I'm with you. I just feel like men are from Mars and women are from Venus. Meaning, I'll take your point and I'll flip it. The same guy who's raised in Christ, the corporate guy that you're talking about, who's trying to do it like the Bible said, of one wife, and she would be of one husband, meaning no children, no bastards, and he didn't want to deal with that, and he wanted to operate in Christ in the, you see what I'm saying, in the Bible. And so I'm with you. It's just that men are from Mars and women must be from Venus, because I see how you can see that, and I'm sure that everybody sees how I can see what I just articulate. Anyway, let's move forward. I know it's gonna be tough not to. Okay, because I'm gonna because you're a mama, you see, and you would be telling your child this, then the third, your 2 sons, flesh sons. Yeah. So you're a mom too, Okay, all right. So, what does real accountability look like For the person with the past. I know.
What?
I know. Okay.
Ooh.
Does it look like transparency? Changed friends? Changed habits? No thirst traps?
I definitely think it deals with, I don't know about the friends part, but change habits, change of the behavior, renewing of the mind, like I think all of that plays a part in it.
Yeah, I agree. I think the person with the past has to take ultimate accountability. And meaning, I know Sally Sue don't want to deal with me because and she's a good girl. She comes from a good family. You just said you brought the Lord in and all that, these things. And all that's good, right? And so, but sometimes the Lord is biased. Okay, right. Okay, so the Lord biased. And so he loved everybody, but Sally Sue might have been raised and she wanted a good guy who wasn't, you know what I'm saying, already wilding out in the streets with multiple sex partners and 2-3 baby mamas. That's all I'm saying. She might not want a guy with 2-3 baby mamas. That might be crazy for her. You see?
But that sounds like no accountability. You know what I'm saying? Like if you want to have growth, you got to be accountable for your actions.
And so I would understand
even with men
if she didn't want to date me. Because I'm accountable for my actions. I got 2-3 baby mamas. I got the children. We can't subtract the children. All things can be made new, except these children can't go away.
But do you think it's possible? Okay, so for a woman, we know the behavior can play a part of her. I mean, it shouldn't identify who she is, but it can play a part in her identity. Do you think it's the same for men?
Say that again.
So for a woman, her behavior, it should not identify who she is, but we do know it plays a part in her identity, right? We just said that, the thorn in the side and all that stuff, you know what I'm saying? So, and though she can change to be, do you think it's the same for men?
Yes and no, but not necessarily because I don't think a woman's supposed to be a provider. And so the man is supposed to be a provider. And so if the thorn in your side is 2 kids by 2 different baby daddies, then I'm sorry, babe. I'm sorry, babe. Yeah, I'm sorry. Then I have to be the provider and provide for those children that are not mine. Okay. And then I might want to have a child with you. I'm sure all men want to have a child with whoever they're gonna be with. 1 or 2, and then we got to provide for those. And so I don't know if it's the same for a woman because she's supposed to just submit. And so now I got to hear you on the phone with your 2 baby daddies if y'all communicate with your children. You see what I'm saying? And you submitting to this situation because y'all got to meet up here at whatever time for the baby because the baby got this going on at the schoolhouse. So I don't know. I don't think it's the same for men and women. I think the man, as far as him having a thorn in his side, is him having a past, him having a couple kids and or just a horrible past as a womanizer or something like that. Because a lot of guys, get into that. And before they know it, they are womanizing and they didn't mean to. And so I do think that it would be easier for a guy to move forward and have a healthy future opposed to a woman. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's the same for both. A woman can have a healthy future as well with a horrible past, but I do think it's a big difference.
I agree.
Yeah. I think it's a big difference. And I think ladies resent that too. And nowadays, like the female rappers and things like that, they promote that they acting like the guys, and so the only reason I brought up those people is because they're super duper huge influencers. I remember Tupac had a huge influence on me when I was young. And Biggie, I like those guys. They was awesome, right? And so I took some of their swag now. You feel me? And kids do that, and so the young lady might, take to a Sexy Red or take to a whoever, you know what I'm saying, a promiscuous behavior, or a woman on stage being basically butt naked. You see what I'm saying?
Sounds good.
It sounds good.
But I promise you, if Sexy Red get the right man that want to cover her, tell her to put some clothes on and this and that, and she gonna display a totally different person. So I hate that they do have those type of influence out there that looks like that, because it looks good. But at the end of the day, a woman still has to have self-respect for herself. She has to be able to love herself. She has to have those boundaries for herself. So when the right person come, because I don't care what they display out there in the world, every woman wants to feel protected. Every woman wants to feel loved. Every woman wants to be covered.
Okay, so I got a question for you, and you can only give one of two answers. It's exception or not the exception. And the question, because I want to move forward fast through this segment. And so the question is, or the statement is, it turns into a question. We all know women who've had wild pasts, and is now faithful wife, and that's a wonderful story. But is she the rule or the exception?
I'm gonna go with exception.
Okay, now, now to get to the meat of the things, why do people use exceptions to silence the standards? Because I understand she might be an exceptional woman, but this other lady over here who's not an exceptional woman, or maybe not even an exceptionally pleasing, to the eye or whatever. And she's had a promiscuous past as well. Why does she feel like that her story can end just like whatever said overly beautiful lady who had a past, and somebody was going to take her in and take good care of her anyway?
I think a lot of it is with the confidence and knowing who she is and what she believes she is. So I think she has a very high possibility to have what she believes that she's going to have. And I still think it goes to the exceptional of Jesus Christ, knowing who you are in him. I think without it, it's probably possible, but it probably don't end good. Like, yeah, you can believe that you got this guy and this and that, but then he becomes controlling. He's gonna throw your past up in your face. He can be abusive. I mean, I'm just going off what I have seen, what I have learned from experience and other folks' experiences. So yeah, I mean, I'm gonna always go with the exceptional is gonna be because of whose you belong to and who you are in him instead of what you think. I mean, because yeah, it looks good. It could be cute. But what's really going on? I mean, we can kind of, we can kind of touch bases of, what looks good compared to what's good versus what is right. You know what I'm saying? Type of thing. I think we talked about it before. Clarissa Shields is one of those people. It looks good. Her and Papoose look good, but ain't none of that right. So how's that going to end? Not to deviate from what we're talking about.
Yeah, we're just gonna leave that alone right now, and we will do a wrap up at the end of the week. This is a tough one right here, and we're glad you're here. Want to ask a woman, how should a man vet without becoming cruel or interrogative? How should your sons vet?
Honestly, I think there's no difference between the man and woman when it comes to vetting. Have your boundaries set. Know what you want. Know what you're willing to deal with and tolerate. But I think more so of the man, because like you say, he's the provider, he's the protector, he's the leader. So he ain't going to want to just lead BS, I guess, in the short term, to say he ain't gonna want to just lead anything. So definitely I will tell our sons, set your boundaries. I think I told my son, baby, she got a child and he, or too few kids, go and get out of there.
So should the male ask the tough questions off the top, would you advocate that for him, or is that a turnoff to women? I'm asking you because you're a woman.
I think he should definitely. I think you should get the tough questions out the way.
I do too.
I think you should definitely hit and if he asks you about be who you are, show, because again, your past. If you get a woman, and this is just my opinion, I don't know. I'm just speaking on what I think. If you get a woman who's offended about you asking about her past, she's still living somewhere in there, some residue somewhere. You need to go and leave that alone anyway. But if she can answer you about her past, she's confident, because that means she's confident who she is today. That don't define her. And if you can't get with who she is today and you stuck on who she is, she don't want to deal with you anyway. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, if you find a woman who's offended because you're asking about her past, it's still lurking in the present somewhere. Get on out of there.
Yeah. I agree with that. Now, okay, if Jesus, and I'm going ahead, I'm going to the next segment. If Jesus can transform Saul into Paul, do you believe anybody can change?
Yes, I definitely think you can change through Jesus Christ. I think you can become a new creature in Jesus Christ. I think the old things can pass away when you're in Jesus Christ. I think you are beautifully and wonderfully made in Jesus Christ. Yes, I definitely believe that. Yeah.
Saul didn't have a thorn in his side.
Whether you have a thorn in your side or not, Jesus can change all of that if you go to him and surrender. Like he changed David. David was a whoremonger, wasn't he?
David actually killed his best soldier, brother Uriah, a wonderful man. Sent him to the front line because he had called him to the kingdom, and he wanted him to bust his wife down. Sister, what's her name? Bathsheba. Mm-hmm. Sister Bathsheba. I think she's top 5 beautiful in the Bible. I think she's probably like top 3. And we will do the episode one day, the most beautiful women in the Bible. But I think Bathsheba top 3. I think Sarah the bad. I think Sarah number 1. But I think Bathsheba top 3. And so King David he told Uriah to come on home and live with your wife. And Uriah was so dedicated to King David that he said, "No, I got to get back out there because my men ain't on relief, and so I can't be on relief." And King David said, "Okay," and sent him to the front line.
Yeah.
And got him slaughtered.
But God changed him. Just like he did with Rahab. I mean, she's a part of the lineage of Jesus Christ, and she was a known prostitute. I think they helped Joshua them or something. So, and you got Mary, what's her name? Mary, saved and changed. Like, so yeah, I think with Christ, anything is possible. You can definitely be changed, but you got to want it. You got to want it. You got to want to grow. You cannot have a lifestyle of living as a hoe, for a safe term, and thinking that, oh, I'm going to get this and I'm going to, no, you cannot. You got to have a renewing of your mind. You got to have a desire to want to be better and be a better person. You cannot just be out here naked and I don't know what the reasons for it or why it's so popular these days. I don't know why our younger generation feel like they supposed to let everything hang out and yet attract a good godly man or a good man that's going to take care of them. I don't know why is it like that now, but I do know that you can't. You got to have a change. You have to have some growth. You got to have some self-respect. You got to have some love for yourself to want to achieve a good man. Let me say that.
Yeah, just be real for a second. I lived in the life, and you recognize the lifestyle, familiar spirits. And so you recognize that, and you know that like those spirits are so strong that like we don't even gotta talk. She wanna, you feel me, right now, wild out right now. They so strong to where like it's gonna be hard to change that if you're always just falling subject to it, if it's like a drug to you, like a high.
No discipline.
Yes. And so now we're going to get to some of the solutions. Let's try to make this segment solution based. What should a person do? What should a person with a past do if they want a serious future and they want a partner to take them serious? What should a person with a promiscuous past do? What should a hoe do if they want a serious future?
First, they got to make a decision that they want a serious future. That's the first step. And then when they make that step, wanting to have better and to have a better future, then they need to start making their behavior or look like they're wanting better. So the things that they used to do, they need to do differently now. And then on top of that, they got to make sure not only do they make their behavior, but they make sure their mind following where they're going in Christ. I want to ask you something though. When it comes to a man dealing with women who has a past, or the promiscuous, or the naked women, this and that, why is it that men don't choose those women? I just wanted, and the reason I'm asking this because I want girls to know, they can be like, oh, I don't want to hear what she has to say, or I pull men because nothing against strippers, but I'm a stripper and I can pull who I want. I can marry who I want. I can do these type of things. Why is it that men usually don't choose those?
Now, pose the question again.
Why is it that men don't choose those women? They deal with them. Yeah, you would sleep with her. You would sleep with the woman who has the promiscuous past and behavior and has no change and no future. But why don't you choose to settle down with her or to protect, or or guard her?
We don't have the same values at all. And so I would definitely be with her and hang with her, and we can have a physical relationship or whatever, things of this nature. I'm not taking you to mom's or anything like that, or, probably won't be taking you to church or anything like that. How am I going to make her a representation of me when she's a representation of something else, of something bigger than just me as the individual? And I don't mean that something is bigger than the male as the individual, but I heard stripper, I heard the naked lady. You talking about I don't know what type of nightlife she lived or what she done, and you've been promiscuous to the point where you have a reputation and you have been seen outside in this light. Now, if you was just a street walker and maybe had a little reputation in the streets, maybe we can deal with you, okay? But you talking about you was open to the general public, whoever came to the nightclub had access to your body
for the right amount.
I don't care if about the renewing of your mind. I'm just man. God won't put more on me than I can bear. Okay. Now he might have a blessing for you. He might have a ram in the bush for you, ma'am. He might have a good provider male for you, ma'am, somewhere in the bush, but it won't be me. Okay. It won't be me, ma'am. Everybody already seen you outside in the public, general public, bust down, all the world to see. Okay. Now, if you was I don't mean no harm, if you was a private hoe, men settle down with private hoes every day.
And
most women are private hoes.
And let me say, when you say it won't be you, I take that as it won't be a man my type of independency. A man that is loyal, respectful to you. I'm saying that type of man you usually won't receive. Yeah, he might provide for, but he won't be respectful. He won't be loyal. He won't be protective. That type of man. And I just wanted to say that for someone that may be listening.
No, the guy that she don't want will give her everything that she wants. The guy that she does not desire will be more than willing to give her everything that she wants. So if this woman learns to settle, then she could actually elevate and be just fine. You see? And that's the thing with women with pasts. They don't want the guy that's working at the chicken plant. They don't want him. And he's a good, honest guy. You see? That's what you think that's what you qualify for. You think that you qualify for
something you don't.
I hate these words, but I'm a, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to the pod father. You think you qualify for a high value man? Kevin Summers. I don't know if she qualifies for high value man. Now, everything is possible with Christ, baby. We're giving you that, and we are not hating on the Lord. Okay, the Lord can provide you a wonderful provider, male, 6'1", good looking with the chiseled abs, ma'am. God can do that for you.
He can.
Is he? I don't know. I don't know. Just being real.
You have to seek him. You have to want it. But and again, it comes back to self-respect, renewing of the mind, change behavior, wanting better for yourself, growth, accountability. You know, it comes back to all those things, which most people don't want to accept.
I think one of the key elements would be to cut access to old temptations.
That's good.
See, I used to be a hoe.
Mm-hmm.
And so I didn't want to be a no more. I said, man, I don't want to be. You know, the phrase that came out when I was at the end of my, it was, he for everybody. And I was like, I clutched my pearls. I said, not me. I'm not for everybody. I said, I got to change. I got to switch the game because they say I'm for everybody. Oh, man, I ain't out here like that. Now, am I y'all now? You feel me? And so when you outside like that, and see, I'm a man. Mm-hmm. And so time don't heal all. They lie. But time can, you see what I'm saying, create some distance from some situations and maybe a lifestyle that you was into, right? But I'm a man. And so for a woman who lived the type, because women are it's dog women now. Okay. And I don't advocate for any woman to be a dog type of a woman. You know, meaning same behavior as males. You know, make multiple sex partners, sometimes multiple sex partners on one same weekend. You see playing the game.
Bisexual.
Oh man, the bisexual. Yeah. I don't advocate for that lifestyle. But prying yourself from that lifestyle takes discipline and the Lord. I mean, my bad. The latter would be the first. The Lord, Jesus Christ, and discipline, which is one of the one of God's number one things that He do help you with, discipline. So you're gonna have to have the Lord to come up out of somebody when they heavy spirits, heavy sex spirit demons, incubus and succubus. See, I didn't want to bring it up. Mm-hmm. I didn't want to bring it up. But folk, been dealing with sex demons for years and years and years. I know I did. And I'm sure that I'm just I'm just major. But I'm sure that a lot of other people are dealing with sex demons as well. And sex demon, man, you think that you done met some genuine good older lady, and she can smell or feel the sex demon on you too, and she already got one in her too. And next thing it's like, dang, old lady, I thought you was, you know what I'm saying? I didn't even think that I was gonna be wild out with you like this. And so now, at some point, I got to go back to this because you said, I don't know about friends when I asked you, would you have to maybe pry yourself from some old friends or whatever? But I do think that my same sex demon friends, hanging with them. Yeah, I got sex demon friends. What did you talking about? I'm just too raw?
I didn't say nothing, babe.
Okay. Now, sex demon friends, and we knew just what to do on the weekend and how to do it. You feel me? And I knew that I said, me and my sex demon friend, we got to, and then we was able to grow and deal with the Lord as well and and both of us were able to come up out of the lifestyle that we were living. Mm-hmm. But that's rare. Let's rather be conscious that I'm living this type of lifestyle and I need to come out of this because this many sexual partners ain't right. And so I don't believe that once a hoe, always a hoe. I believe that you can change, but I do think this is going to take a lot of discipline, a mind renewal, like you said, and of course, number one, God. And prayer. You got to stay on the prayer line. Sometimes you got to stay on the prayer line because you like, oh God, hey God, he pulling up on me now, God. Why is he, God, let him keep walking by me, Lord. Sometimes you got to just be praying at all times.
I mean, you do as a believer, but if you're not a believer and you just don't believe it's all to God and stuff, you definitely need discipline. You need dedication.
You're not going to beat this one. I'm sorry, babe.
Determination.
I agree with you. I truly do. And I'm so sorry. I apologize. Mm-hmm. But you're not going to beat this one without God. So if you don't believe in God, then you're not going to beat this one. You're not going to beat the sex demon without God. Not without Jesus Christ. Okay? Yeshua HaMashiach, Jesus the Messiah, Yeshua ben Joseph. I mean, you're gonna need Jesus to beat the sex demon. I'm sorry.
I definitely think you need determination, you need discipline, and you need, dedication. You're absolutely right. It's definitely difficult to defend because it's not you that's going to defend it. It's you submitting and seeking and asking God to help you, and He fighting for you to do it. But I do believe all positive avenues lead to the one ultimate great thing in life, which is our Creator, which is Jesus Christ. God and Jesus Christ. So if you want to do better and you're not a believer, any step of positivity, which is discipline, renewing of the mind, dedication, determination, will all lead to the same avenue if you stick with it.
I agree with that. Was that your closing, or do you have anything in closing?
I think that's my closing.
Okay. Just don't want to keep being rude. I couldn't help it because you said you can do it. You can't do this one without Christ.
No, you can't.
I don't mean no harm.
You can't really.
Now, here's where I land. I do not believe once a hoe, always a hoe. I don't believe it's a law of nature. People do change, sometimes drastically. I believe in redemption, and I believe in Christ Jesus makes all things new. But I also refuse to lie to make folk feel comfortable. A past can cast a shadow. And it's not hatred for a person to consider risk, patterns, and consequences. Just like the ex-drug dealer understands why certain doors will not be open immediately. So if you have a past, don't demand that others pretend it never happened. Prove with time that it no longer owns you. And if you are choosing a spouse, don't be cruel, but don't be a fool either. Marriage is not a stage play. It's a covenant. And covenant requires trust. Redemption is real, yet consequences are real. And maturity is knowing how to honor both truths at the same time. That's major.
That's major.
So remember we was at the 5 Points, and in front of us, we had went to Birmingham because we wanted to, it was Christmas, and we said we're just gonna go to the mall and we're gonna get the Jordans because we didn't feel like, you know what I mean. And so we went to Birmingham, Alabama, 5 Points,
the hood,
with the straight and so we went. God be with us, right?
Yeah, you said we got a better chance to get the Jordans.
We had a better chance, and we got them, so we weren't scared, and so we got out the car. And everything was cool because everybody looked just like us, right?
Right.
Except once we get in line, it was a big lady, and she could be watching her own in the heart. She was a big, beautiful lady.
She was beautiful.
She was beautiful,
but she was big.
She was big, and then my wife bumped me. and said and did like this.
She had a
And I
gun.
looked down, it was a big gun. And I was looking at my wife like, don't touch me and show me her gun. I'm scared immediately now. You know what I'm saying? Because I was one with the Lord. So I wasn't fearing. I ain't even see no gun. We looked back, the YNs walked up. And so then they were so skinny, and I was scared, and I said, man, I didn't know I didn't know what was gonna go on. And it was an absolutely beautiful lady that was calling for our shoes at the counter. I just had to say that for no reason. And it was great, but we were scared. And when it was some dude that he looked at like he had been outside, like he was from the streets.
He wanted his kids. He had all the children with him. I thought that's what you were saying.
Yeah, no, he didn't even let his children get out the car until they made it to the door.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I was saying old, like not really a YN, like
for the girl.
Maybe a 30-year-old was walking out there already had like 3 bags and just started walking up and down the strip beside us like he was trying to get back in line.
So
I hope nobody got hurt.
I don't think anyone got hurt in that situation, but
Jordan.
I think it still goes back to the confidence and the like that girl with the gun, the big girl. You know, she had a dude pull up with the dude. It looked like a truck with rims. And
he pulled up with a bag.
He might have paid for her. She gave him
money. I think he was getting some shoes for one of his children.
Yeah, but I think he pulled up for her. He called her, and we kind of overheard the conversation, and that happened. But I think that becomes because she has confidence in herself. She has some boundaries. Clearly she had boundaries. She had a gun. You're not going to just do anything to me. So I think that might carry over. And I think
that's the culture down there too.
Yeah, that's true.
I think literally everybody in the line had a gun. Literally. Like once I seen her gun, I noticed everybody else's gun.
Yeah, it's possible.
Yeah. Just wanted to throw that out. It's happy holidays.
Merry Christmas Eve.
Well, it's Christmas.
Well, whatever.
Yeah, it's Christmas. But yeah, I just wanted to throw that out there. I didn't, who cares? Anyway,